Welcome to Bits and Bones. I am Mortheous, and tonight with me tonight we have Sam and Tim. How are you gentlemen tonight?
Doing pretty good. Can't, just counting the days until 007 First Light.
Nice.
But,
That's what, next week or the following week?
that is, that is May 27th.
27th, so yeah, about
So
a
like less than 2
week and a
weeks.
half.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm doing pretty well.
Good to hear it, gentlemen. So I hate to do this to you guys 2 weeks in a row. Well, doing it to us all, really. But we have to talk about a witch by the name of Anita Sarkeesian again, because she won't go away, and we have new footage and video of her saying things that I think people need to see and hear.
So, in other words, it's just like herpes then.
Yes.
Just never goes away.
Exactly.
What we're going to do is we're going to look at the smaller clips first that most people, I think, are aware of, and then we'll go into the longer clip that was a larger meeting clip from, I think, what's said in the thread is 2022, and it's one of her going in depth as to what she does and why and why. But we'll go with the more well known clips first.
All out. Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
No, you don't, Anita. Because if you think that way, you're brain dead.
Well,
one song, except I'm.
Go ahead, Sammy.
Well, I mean, we know she's brain dead.
And this next clip will prove that she's brain dead, even though she's claimed to be a quote unquote super gamer that plays lots of games. Not taking her out of context here. I'm not. This is I've seen this clip for many years. It's not spliced. It's not fucked with. It's literally her saying that she's not a gamer after professing that she is.
It's a soundtrack of one song, except I'm doing video games. So it's not exactly a fandom. I'm not a fan of video games. I actually had to learn a lot about video games in the process of making this. And also, video games, like, I would love to play video games, but I don't want to go around shooting people and ripping off their heads, and it's just gross. So, hence, this is my response to that.
Well, Anita, there are more video games than fucking first person shooters. If you don't know that, you're kind of a moron.
I mean, again, are we really surprised?
No, because even before that clip ever came out, she always came across as the the woman that, again, professes to want to be a gamer but doesn't know anything other than AAA and nothing else.
Yeah. Well, and that might actually be a blessing in disguise.
Right. She doesn't know of the single A and double A indie situation, which unfortunately she's probably learning now.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of my point.
I didn't know feminists could learn.
Well, who says that they can?
True. Well, this thread popped up earlier this week on X. Before we get to the video, I'll just do a little rundown of the background of the clip that I want to show. What if I told you I've seen some of Anita Sarkeesian's private lectures that she gave to a games developer about 4 years ago? Here's the background. When I when I was still the head of Reddit Kotaku in Action, this is a poster. Alex Baldwin. Not taking credit here. I had some people within the gaming industry send me information about various things, sentiment among developers that higher ups were doing. Uh, I still occasionally get people telling me what's going on, though it's maybe one a year, always on condition of anonymity because their jobs would be at risk if they were ever found out. Go figure. I've heard some wild things about Anita Sarkeesian involvement behind the scenes, from her visiting certain studios so they can show off a game in development, to her giving talks to dev teams, to one who said that employees were tacitly threatened into noting to feminist frequency, but I've never gotten a video of one of her lectures. This is the first, and something I'm naturally very interested in. Just wanted to do a little bit of background before we get into the video. Here's the clip. Sarkeesian is responding to a question about what her biggest challenges are in trying to shift greater culture in games and ending abuse and harassment. So what she does in games isn't abuse and harassment to the games audience. Start it here in a second.
There is always resistance to challenging the status quo. There's always resistance and backlash. So I think that maybe I can illustrate this with an example. So I don't debate people. For years, these fucking
Because you'd get fucking blown out if you did, bitch.
assholes on the internet are like, debate me. Like, I'll pay you 10 grand if you debate me, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, no. And the reason I don't is because it is a lot harder.
Because you're a fucking coward.
When you're perpetuating the status quo, you can use 2-3 words to get your point across. When you're challenging the status quo, you have to unpack the status quo and then provide a vision for the future and the alternative vision, right? So you are immediately in a losing position, right? Like you can't win that. There's no way. So for me,
she's
Go ahead.
wrong, but like that's what every great that's what every great innovator has done.
And also, since she's been her and Zoe Quinn have been in the gaming industry, they've become the status quo.
Well, yeah, but if I were in this conversation with her, like I would say, like Justin Tech, like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, like those are just like two easy names. Elon Musk. All of those people like challenge the status, quo.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy for them to unpack either. Like, so basically what she's saying is she doesn't want to do the hard work to
Right. She wants to be a snaky bitch and do things behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. She wants to be able to be a victim rather than actually somebody who's able to go ahead and actually have a good conversation.
Yeah. Anyway, continuing on.
Okay.
All of the work that anybody does that's challenging the status quo to build more progressive, a more progressive, more social justice world is immediately confronted at every turn, constantly, with that type of resistance. It's a lot of like, how do you phrase things in a way that is accessible to the largest audience possible while retaining the core of what you're trying to say without dumbing down what you're trying to say, right? I loved what Bell Hooks was such a huge inspiration to me when I started, who talked about how she used pop culture in her classroom as a way to engage with students on issues of difference and transformative justice, and that she used accessible language, but she didn't ever reduce the she didn't ever like simplify what she was saying, right? It's not like she had to make her concepts and her theories less intellectual. She just figured out a new way to say it. And I think for me, in the bulk of my work in the past has been a lot of like, how do I phrase things in a way that I can get the most people to understand or to hear me or to get on board, right?
That's where you're
I
wrong.
spend a lot of
You
time
shouldn't.
thinking about, there's this.
Go ahead, Tim.
That's where you're wrong. You shouldn't, and you should be just honest rather than just trying to do for the lowest common denominator. You just be able to go ahead and be honest and intellectually honest to yourself. Like I get like don't dumb it down, but just be honest with what you have and be able to go ahead and have that like actual good intellectual conversation. Look, if she's going to be able to go ahead and talk to other people about what she is trying to say, don't dumb it down. Don't put it into like the most lowest common denominator. Just be honest with what you say, and then just try to go and deal with the backlash of what you have.
Well,
And she's not taking it very well.
Right, and don't do it from the fucking shadows. Do it
but
with the most sunlight.
but Tim,
Yeah.
to your point though, like she has to dumb it down, and she has to do it from the shadows because she is, and I don't mean this like,
She's not
you
that
know,
smart.
as a slur, but like she is a literal Marxist, communist, and if she were to just say that like outright, no one would no one would have gone along with any of this just like right out the gate 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's a problem. Like I don't really like the sneakiness of it.
Yeah, well that's all they have though.
From the chat, One-Eyed Jack Gaming, she wouldn't have to work from the shadows if what she was doing wasn't wrong.
Exactly, and that's kind of my point is like, yeah.
this concept called the spectrum of allies. It's kind of like a half circle, and over here you have your like your closest, most ardent allies that will always be on board, and over here you have the people that want you to die and hate you and think you're the worst ever, and in the middle you have the people on the fence. And I spent most of my career talking to these people, right? Because they're the people who could go one way or another, and that can create a larger sort of cultural shift, right? As we're talking about building a critical mass. And for them, there's a specific kind of language I would use to talk to them versus talking to people that are already on board, and I can use all the internal lingo and all the academic speak and all that kind of stuff, right? It's the preaching to the choir model. So I don't know, that might have been a tangent, but I think about that a lot in terms of what are the challenges, like, and even in your workplace, right? You think about like if you're trying to make change, or like ERGs are trying to do stuff, like you have to think about how you present your message and how you talk about stuff. And you also have to understand that people are going to find you when they're ready. So you're planting seeds, right? Like you're just like, if you share a little snippet here and there and somebody argues with you and whatever, and they come back 2 years later and they're like, oh fuck, I know what you were talking about now. This happens to me all the time.
That's the thing, bitch. We know what you're talking about. We just don't like it.
Yeah. Also,
and I'm sorry if I'm a snooty asshole with this bitch on the screen, but she's caused her and Zoe Quinn have caused so much strife in gaming over the last 12 fucking years. And the last couple of weeks, they've both popped up, and it's fucking infuriating.
well, Craig on the Fake Untied podcast brought this up this past week, and I think it's well worth bringing up. And by the way, check out the Fake Untitled podcast.
Absolutely, friend of the
They're
show.
great. But Craig brought up the point where like people, there's been a whole misconception on our side even that like Anita Sarkeesian left and then like got hired back or something.
Right, no, she just went into the shadows.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like these people never left. They've just been waiting in dormant. And not to like not to transition over to politics too much, but like that's one of the things that kind of infuriates me about this whole kind of like civil war on the right now is like all these people they think that the SJWs have been like like owned officially, and so now
Yeah, no.
they're infighting, and it's like it's like okay, like like these people are not like what are you doing voting against
They're not dead and gone and defeated. They're just gone to ground to regroup.
right, and they're seeing people like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens being retarded, retarded and saying that that well maybe we should have had Kamala, and like yeah, the woke never went away. They're just in dormant right now. So
I get so many messages from people who are like, well, I
Just
was
a
a
heads up,
baby
pause.
brigader and I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
That's why I'm scared of like you're saying. Like 2028 might be like the most scariest kind of like season ever, just
well,
because of everything that's going on.
yeah.
Can definitely see that.
Well, and I mean, they're really, I mean, there are reasonable voices out there, but none of us who are reasonable, we don't get as much traction as the outrageous shit flingers on either side. So
Maybe we should become shit flingers, Sam.
Well, this is the reason why I'm actually kind of terrified of like what's going to happen. Like, where's the pendulum going to go ahead and swing in the next 2 years? And it's
Right.
terrifying to think about. And we need to go ahead and do it fairly, but we need to be able to go ahead and like move things very well. I mean, we're already in the midterms. It could be dangerous.
yeah, well, like that's like why I've been so critical. Like I'm not. I hate to keep derailing Mortheous, but this actually does relate to like.
Yeah, absolutely does.
I guess
no problem.
I guess gaming a bit. It is weird. I didn't even realize this until after the show the other night. But Thomas Massey's supporters, a few of them at least that I've seen are also like retweeting Anita Sarkeesian,
Of course they are.
posts and whatnot. So like the quote unquote libertarian guy who is, supposedly more based than Trump, quote unquote, his fucking followers are also retweeting, you know, Anita Sarkeesian's post about toxic masculinity. So it's like, yeah, the far right and the far left have kind of merged into this, like, um,
Why we call them the woke right?
yeah, yeah, and it really, yeah, I mean, we're kind of seeing, and we're seeing the woke right say that, you know, people like Anita Sarkeesian are misunderstood. So, fucking
That
hell.
makes me want to fucking throw up.
Yeah. Well, you just wait and see. I'm not sure if it'll happen this year, but I guarantee at some point you'll see Anita Sarkeesian on Tucker's podcast at some point.
Either that or back at the fucking UN.
I mean, maybe both.
Gross.
So,
And I know better now. And I think some of it is age. Like, not that Gamergate was only kids, but it's age. And it's also what we're talking about is this systemic shift that has happened over the last decade that, like, while we've had extremely
Yeah, and you've become the fucking status quo. And I'd still fucking debate you any goddamn day of the week, bitch. And you could just sit there and be like, sure, and just spout off all your bullshit like you've been saying the status quo can. And I'd
I
mop the goddamn floor with you, bitch.
I would love that because well, because like you being crippled, then let's admit, like you do have a little more of a pronounced stutter than I do. She would have to like debate you.
Right?
Otherwise, like, you know,
And I'm not
she's
even I don't even want to be like debate friend of the show Dr. Craig. No, debate the fucking stuttering cripple, please.
yeah.
regressive politics and an extreme backlash to the progress, we have seen a progressive shift. Like, let me tell you, in the middle of 2020, when like the big Black Lives Matter protests were erupting, hearing mainstream people say the word white supremacy was a fucking shock. Because as like activists, we were using the word all the time, but we would not use it in like mixed company because people didn't understand
Because you're a divisive bitch.
that white supremacy wasn't just like Nazis, right? And the fact that that is now mainstream and we're saying that word and we're talking about capitalism, like it's not just the air we breathe, it is a system that could.
The reason why you can do any of this, Anita, is expressly because of fucking capitalism. And if it wasn't for capitalism, you wouldn't be Miss Feminist Frequency spouting bullshit.
Change potentially, like this shift is happening, right? And so remember, you're planting seeds, right? And even if you get frustrated, and even if you're like, oh, why don't you like whatever, there is an opportunity for them over time to come around and to see, you know, and be exposed to different ideas.
Well, that's the end of that. I don't know if we have any more in the thread.
Please God, no.
Right. Yeah. Update. I guess the most recent thing is this update here. Have an update kind of. The source is open to another clip being posted, but it's not been posted as of yet. But still resistant to the whole video being public. Yeah, because you don't want to get outed and lose your fucking job. They've got Alex has cut two clips together and have been submitted to the source, but the source hasn't gotten back to him yet. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's another clip in the thread as of yet.
There is always resistance to challenge.
When I saw that pop up in my feed earlier this week, I'm like, okay, this is unfortunately going to be the main topic of this week's Bits and Bones because we're still fucking dealing with Anita.
Well, thanks, asshole.
Right? Nobody wants Tim. Nobody other than game developers want to deal with the woman to the point where a couple of years ago she married herself.
I mean, she literally did the meme of like feminism.
Yeah,
Like that used to be a joke that, you know, these feminists are so narcissistic that they would only marry themselves. And she did it. So yeah.
it's really disgusting. It really is. And then also earlier this week, her friend, the creator of Suicide, Zoe Quinn, was found out that she's uh, working on State of Decay 3.
Wait, hold up. Did I hear you right? Zoe Quinn is Suicide, did I hear that right?
Zoe Quinn, yeah, Zoe Quinn drove a man to suicide.
I knew that, but like but it sounded like you said that she developed a game called Suicide or something.
Well, she was the creator of a man's suicide.
Oh, a creator of a
Because she
man.
falsely accused him of a bunch of bullshit.
Okay, yeah,
She was the creator of a man's suicide.
okay. I thought that she developed a game. I thought she developed a video game called Suicide, and I was like,
Sorry, I probably didn't phrase that properly.
yeah. No, you're good. I'm just like, what? A woman developed a game called Suicide, and
Oh
she
no.
also.
Sorry about that. That's not how I meant that.
Thing of it is that it seems like something she would actually do, though.
Yeah. Oh, did Moore get kicked off?
Uh,
He's back.
I'm in.
Sorry about that, everybody. I got rumbled. But here's what I was referring to as far as Zoe Quinn and State of Decay 3. Uh, per Jay Viper on Twitter, I know a lot of us are pissed about Sensfire 2 for hiring Anita Sarkeesian, which was you know, she could the role of any kind in the gaming industry, which I agree she's poison. Uh, this is a good time to let you know that Zoe Quinn uh, worked on State of Decay 3 as a senior narrative designer. And
That's very
on Dev
kind of.
Labs, senior narrative designer.
I guess I'll be right back.
And we seem to be...
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Yeah, so I guess Mort got rumbled again, and I don't really have any clue what
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a situation myself too.
it's okay. Take your time. In the meantime, I will just interject.
He's back.
Oh, you bet.
I think I'm back, Sam, but keep going, doing your thing.
Oh no, I was just saying, you know, in the meantime, we would appreciate if you liked, comment, subscribed on both here on Rumble and on YouTube as well. Over at RTO Mortheous over on Rumble, and yeah,
Also, Bits and Bones YouTube.
so and let's see here, what regarding the whole thing with the quartering and whatnot, we really don't focus much on the whole e-drama thing. I will just say that it's pretty it is pretty gay to me that he's flagging everyone down. So
Isn't that every time?
yeah, that happens a lot. I don't really me personally, I don't even really pay that much attention to the e-drama space. I even get annoyed. I even get annoyed sometimes with a certain sir for sharing DSP stuff constantly.
Yeah, but he's my lolcow.
Yeah, I know. But also,
He's the YouTube slop that I follow.
well,
Because who can jerk off and then stay doing content?
I mean, I hate to say it, but more than just him, probably.
Oh, I know, but it's been a decade, and after his jerk off, and he's still around.
I mean, if you gotta do one, if you gotta rub one out, just turn off the camera and mute.
Camera was on the whole time.
I know. I know. That's what I'm saying.
What happened?
Oh dear God.
Thankfully, his
Is
mic
that
was
on me?
on.
I guess DSP whacked off on stream.
Back in 2016.
So he pulled an Owen Benjamin basically.
Yes. Okay. well, gaming news isn't all bad this week. We did they did score a couple for the good guy, quote unquote good guys. Apparently, Subnautica 2, uh, which originally was looking towards heading in the direction of woke. They apparently did some retooling of their gaming assets before releasing in early access.
Well, that's good.
I guess they released an early access earlier this week. I think it was actually just yesterday, and they
Be back in a minute.
got a graphic on screen now during the 2024 partner preview, which especially that woman in the bottom left, you can definitely tell it's an uglified caricature of a woman.
Yeah, they do that.
And then everything on the right is things that were released in the cinematic trailer earlier this week and yesterday. And let's see. We got. And as a result, the gamers have quote unquote rewarded the developer for actually listening, and they hit 1 million copies hours after launch.
For which game is this?
Subnautica 2.
Is that a good thing, or is that like another
It's a good thing for the sake that they listened to their actual audience and reconfigured their gaming assets.
okay, so it is a good thing then.
Yes.
It's not like it's
It's just demonstrating that if you actually listen to your audience and steer away from the woke, you will be rewarded by your audience.
yeah, that I mean, that's how it used to go.
That's how it still should go as well. Thankfully, some people apparently are listening. Thank you, Subnautica, for listening to us. I did play the original. It's interesting, and I'll elaborate more in a second. But a couple of years ago, IGN, I believe, had a terrible uh, uh, review of the original Subnautica that basically broke down to too much water. Just the graphic I'm just pulling up here. What the fuck is games journalism anymore? Almost 500K players within a couple of hours. Launch day of Subnautica 2, and it's only a 7 out of 10. Meanwhile, Mixtape basically dead desperate, dead despite getting 10 out of 10s. Does anyone still take IGN seriously anymore? The only ones that do are the ones that the game journalists themselves will smell their own goddamn farts. Is it because Subnautica added a white person as a character to play? Is that why they are shitting on it? Isn't it? And well,
Yeah, which the app is
Subnautica
old.
2, right? It's pretty impressive that waiting in Shallow Tides, Subnautica 2 early access, maybe it was fun as it is already, and should be great, sign of things to come. But also, I wouldn't blame anyone waiting for these waters to rise a bit before getting their feet wet. Not suspicious at all.
No, it's not.
Well, and then what was the review for mixtape? What did
Mixtape 10 out of 10. Musical delight from start to finish. Mixtape sets a new standard for coming of age stories in video games. And so it was a master. And something. With a masterful sense of style. It was cut off on the right hand side, unfortunately.
yeah, that's not like shallow.
Not at all. And I guess this is just funny screen capture. Somebody got the comparison of Subnautica 2 and Mixtape, and right below it, Subnautica 2, 1 million copies. Let me see if I can find the original Subnautica review Too Much Water.
Joy, oh joy.
I was mistaken. It wasn't the original Subnautica. It was a Pokemon game. My mistake. I thought for some reason I was thinking it was the original Subnautica. My mistake. Did you have anything involving 007 First Light this week there, Sammy?
I actually do. If you don't mind me sending you something real quick.
Absolutely. That's why I'm asking.
So we actually got our first interview with our first in-depth interview with Patrick Gibson, who plays the new James Bond, and
Nice.
some people are complaining that he's Irish, and I can always tell who's a Bond fan and who's not when they complain about that, because well, wouldn't it be the first time we've had an Irish James Bond?
Right? Don't we just
Actually,
fucking love tourists there, Sammy?
yeah, I bet even Mort knows who the Irish James Bond is.
Sean Connery?
No.
I don't know them because that's what stuck in my brain.
So then you yourself are a tourist.
Oh, absolutely, I'm a tourist, but I'm not going to complain. Oh, that's right, Pierce. Duh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, the Bond that you and I both grew up with, sir.
I forgot that he was Scottish.
Irish.
Irish. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
But
well,
no, yeah, it's well, and mostly it's, surprise, surprise, Brit journalist complaining that he's Irish, but let me see here.
Because he doesn't represent them anymore because he's Irish.
Well, also because despite how progressive England claims to be, for some reason they still have a hate grudge against the Irish. So anyway, here's let me send this to you real quick. So we don't have to play the whole interview, but I think playing at least part of it would be good here. So, and I just sent this to you in the one-on-one DM
Alright.
more.
Pull that up here. Alright. Can you everybody see it?
Hold on a sec.
So first of all, wanted to get your thoughts on.
Can you see and hear it?
Yep, I can.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Your relationship with Bond before you got cast into 007 First Light. Like a lot of people, I was a massive Bond fan. Yeah, growing up with the films, Daniel Craig was kind of my era of Bond, and they were really seminal cinematic experiences. And actually, working on the game, I then read the books for the first time as well, which opened my eyes to the origins. How was your first reaction when you got the
Pause
game?
real quick.
I'm
really glad that he read the James Bond books too, because not every actor has read the books, and that's and so the fact that like I don't know if they insisted that he read the books, or if they or if like he decided to on his own. Either way, though, like props to him for actually reading the original source material.
I agree, and
So.
that's why people like me were excited when we heard back when Henry Cavill got cast for The Witcher on Netflix that he read the novel. Like, okay, he knows the source material. Let's see what this guy can do, and it feels like the same thing.
True.
In this situation.
Yeah, well, and that's another reason why a lot of us want Henry to play Bond too, is because he's read the original Ian Fleming novels. So
Really? Oh wow.
yeah, so
I was pretty stunned. Yeah, it was a massive shock, and I mean, just like an honor to be auditioning for it. I was very excited. Yeah, I think it was like one of the most exciting phone calls I've ever.
Real quick, Sammy, that's the thing. I can admit when I'm a tourist. Other people can't.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Ever had. Seeing your face for the first time in game, how does that feel? That was very surreal. Yeah, you know, we worked on this project for 4 or 5 years, and yeah, that first time seeing the whole thing come together and just how like lifelike it was pretty incredible. So this is a new Bond reimagined origin story. How would you describe in a few words this version of Bond? This version of Bond that we meet is a kind of diamond in the rough. He possesses all the DNA that the later Bonds that we're familiar with has. But yeah, he's young, he's reckless. There's a lot of risk taking, and he learns a lot of hard lessons. I think there's an element of like the optimism of youth in there that slowly gets taken away from him. In your performance, where did you lean on to kind of reflect that version in terms of youthfulness or earnestness? It was a bit of a process of iteration, kind of finding what you could take away and still keep Bond as Bond, you know, and that was really like a kind of a process of discovery. Is there something that surprised you as performing into a video game? So with the voice acting, with the mocap, anything that challenged you or surprised you? Yeah, it was. I mean, this is my first time doing mocap and like doing this extent of voice work. It's definitely a different process to filming. You know, I think the element of repetition is something I wasn't kind of prepared for. You know, there's certain lines that you'll say 5 different ways depending on where the other character that you're interacting with is. And then mocap itself, has its own sort of challenges. Even wearing like this big head camera and interacting with other characters in the volume, but ultimately you strip that away. It's like it's the same. You know, sometimes it felt a little bit more like doing a play than a film, because you know, after set up cameras, you can kind of just hop in and start. So there's a real freedom in that as well, which was cool. And then, yeah, in terms of lines, are there any that kind of stuck with you specifically in terms of repetition? Or, yeah, I mean, yeah. I can't even say it now, but, you know, when Bond says his own name, that was something that definitely stood out on the page. Is like, wow, I'm going to have to say this tomorrow. Yeah, the iconic lines were definitely something that were a lot of fun.
Mr. Beach, was it?
Bond. James Bond. Then in the game, we'll have quite a few gadgets in there. We'll have laser strap, dart phone. We'll have the Omega Watch to hack things. Are there any you wish you could have you in real life? Oh, man, all of them. Yeah. I think that's there's so many elements of this that are just like pure wish fulfillment, you know, as a player. I think there was like often times where I sort of ask Martin, be like, oh, will we be able to do X, or like, will I have this gadget? And it was always yes. And that was so exciting. Although, yeah, maybe not the most useful for my day-to-day life, but still pretty cool. So we had the title sequence reveal. How was your feeling, when seeing that?
When are we going to go ahead and get rocket shoes?
And balls of 007. So how did that feel? That was very exciting. I've kind of been waiting to hear what it was going to be for 4 or 5 years. So, yeah, I was totally kept in the dark. So then
I'm on a hoverboard.
To hear it was, you know, Lana Del Rey, who I'm a huge fan of, have been for years. And I've kind of been waiting for her Bond theme tune. I think, you know, she's so, like, just perfect to write and perform. So, yeah, and it definitely didn't disappoint. I think it's a great tune.
Can't say I'm surprised to see you running towards the sun.
Have there any fans already that have come and said, I've seen you in the trailer, I've seen you in the game, it's looking good? Yeah, that actually, which I was really surprised about, because often you get people and they're kind of like looking at you and then they're like, did I go to college with you? And I was like, you know, but this is definitely like a longer, more confused stare. And then people are like really unsure about it. They're like, you're not like a CGI guy, are you? Like a digital? I think I'm seeing you. So yeah, but that's good. That's kind of fun. Yeah, asking you to post. Can you go? Do that. Okay, yeah, actually, yeah. You don't have a scar on your face. So, if I could get a small message for our fans and players, what do you want to tell them? Yeah, I mean, just strap in. I think I'm as excited about everyone else to play. I hope people enjoy the game. I think there was a lot of love and passion put into it, and for fans of gaming, the character, I hope it delivers everything that they expect, and I'm very excited to hear people's reaction. Yeah.
Real quick to answer One-Eyed Jack's question, I understand the hesitancy with that and why you would ask that. However, the love interest so far seems to be like some French woman with some big ass titties. So I think we're safe so far from woke Bond.
Ass and titties, ass and titties.
So
we'll be eating good tonight, boys.
I could be wrong. There is always the chance like that this game could be woke, but I don't think it is, because all the woke journalists have been complaining about it. As we covered a few weeks ago, there was that one journo from PC Gamer who was upset because Bond is part of the upper class of London as opposed to the working class like this journo is. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be woke, but
Which will be a good thing if it's not. Let's go.
So, and yes, you can get like, this is the one game I pre-ordered because you can get the deluxe edition for the price of the standard edition if you pre-order.
That's awesome. But yeah, that's all that I had this week, and even though it was a lot of feminist Anita, again, hopefully it won't be next week.
Uh-huh. That's what you said last week, sir.
Okay. Let me phrase it this way: it won't be feminist Anita again, unless we get more of that behind the scenes video.
Damn it, more.
Well, I'm sorry, Sam. You know me. I'm something like that. I'm gonna cover, unfortunately.
I know.
Trust me. I would rather not. Nobody wants to cover Anita. She should go back in her hole and stop spreading bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
She should go in her hole and try to actually find a man that thinks like her and actually get married and get laid.
Well, the thing is most men are too. Well, the men that would be attracted to her are too beta cuck to be into her, and the ones who are actual men don't want to touch her with a 10-foot pole.
That's okay. I'm sure she can find a single male game developer that's feminist.
Yeah, and maybe cause him to commit suicide as well.
Maybe. But yeah, before we get too far off the rails, thank you, gentlemen, for coming on like always and talking video games with me. Thanks to the chat. Thanks to Jack for hanging out in the chat with us tonight. Say it now. We'll have Jack on as a guest next week.
True. By the way, I'm going to go into this as my final parting gift. We need a nothing from Anita.
Facts.
So there's that. She just needs to go back to her hole. And you know what? Maybe she might need to go ahead and get filled in her hole.
Yep.
There we go.
All right. Talk to everybody next week.
Sounds
Peace.
good.
And also, I should be able to be in my studio. And not only that, I got everything renovated.
Nice.
So I'm so excited.
Very cool.
All right. Peace out, y'all.
Yeah, peace.